Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, wonderful, beautiful personality and individual you. Today, I would like to speak about inner receptivity with conscious and clear observation. Observing oneself consciously without losing oneself into hazy mysticism or trying to penetrate the outer senses with our head alone. For from our feelings, emotions, and also from our will impulses, we have spiritual forces and spiritual beings underlying this reality of ours. And by including, but also holding to a certain extent separate, the thinking, feeling, and will impulses, so that we can hold them with our sense of self, our ego, our I, and utilize them and use them for observation and perception in both the spiritual, the emotional world, the will impulses we do, well, not necessarily perceive, but come to perceive after the matter of fact. When you have done a deed, then you can perceive the will impulses in it. But I digress. Through emotions, but not losing oneself down in emotions, because they can be quite turbulent if we are not careful. There are both good and ill emotional and underlying spiritual forces too. So important to hold to the heart and to the good. And that is where you can hold the balance. The balance between thinking, feeling, and will. And we hold them in balance with our ego, with our I. The more we come to ourselves and get to know ourselves inwardly, but also with others in certain and specific situations, it is important to reflect upon our memories and our experiences in life so that we actually mature as human beings. We will not mature beyond a certain point if we just passively let it be and do not take hold of our inner being and develop it. It takes time, it requires patience, but patience is a virtue. It really is about strengthening our ability to have patience, and that requires freedom and an intention and a longing to become patient and become calm and clear within our own inner being. So when we are clear and calm, we are able to listen to our own inner world and also to the spiritual that might inspire us and keep us insightful into certain areas of life. So holding to love and to gratitude is one of the ways to hold in balance, because when you are grateful, you do not let the feeling of lack, and the fear of lack take over your being and let it play a huge role in your consciousness. You do hold your inner strength steady so that you do not allow certain forces to overtake your inner being. You hold yourself strong and as clear as possible, and through meditation, practice, and meticulous conscious effort, we become more masterful of our own inner being over time. But it requires, as said many times, patience and consistency to daily have certain practices, certain, not repetition, but it is consistencies. You consist in the practice, let's say taking an object of or an object of focus and hold it within your consciousness, allowing yourself to hold steady and strong to a certain particular focus, concentration, so that one can actually pay attention to our surroundings, what we experience, our thoughts and our feelings. It is important to have that kind of focus and intention, attention. the more attentive you are, the more awake you are, the more you absorb within your being so that you can let it work upon you. But as long as you hold strong, at least you hold strong to the morals and to the good, you will not be affected too much by the forces that wish you to feel certain ways, wish you to feel insecure about yourself, be in a certain doubtfulness, in a fear of ignorance and so on. But you hold strong to what you know, what you are. And the more you are curious and wondrous about these things, the more you get to know, slowly but surely. You have to slowly earn your way into the spiritual world. And the more you practice, the more you show that you are interested. It is kind of a, it's many trials we go through. But the more you get to know yourself, who you are, the many impulses that underlying spiritual impulses that might be playing within your being, and your sense of self, your mastery of your thinking, your insights in your emotions, and also being able to have a wise guidance to our will impulses so that they do not become overly destructive and become get in the way of our development as individual and as human beings. We need to hold the interest and the steadfast strength and dedication to the cause, to the task at hand, to what is demanded of us, and that requires us to be awake and to observe a little, to explore a little, to find out what is it that is playing within our development today in the present. What is consciously at work here, because we can find that out by our own inner abilities, but it requires us to find the inner strength to do so and to train the ability to do so, because no one is giving these things to us. We have to find out and not just let ourselves be told what is right, what is the right thing to observe, what is the wrong thing, and to come to our own understanding of it, a living, developing understanding of it, a spiritual, true insight to reality and to what lies behind, who you are, what a human being are, what the spiritual is. But if we deny that it exists, we deny ourselves a whole reality that otherwise would enhance and to truly bring depth and life and the divinity that, well, the sense perceptible so sorely need these days, because it is quite empty if we only use our senses and our reason alone. But if we truly fill our soul and heart from the heart, we can truly fill life with wonder, with warmth again, with color, with music. And that we will have to slowly but surely grow into. It is challenging, and it requires us to be active within our own inner being and not be a passive passenger, but actually do make an effort to truly come to understand the many hidden layers of reality that otherwise is not perceived because it has to be grown into. It is spiritual organs that we build the rudiments to so that we can in later times truly come in consciously into the spiritual world. For we are the future spirits of freedom and love, and it requires us to work on this in freedom and love. Love in freedom. So no one forces us. I know that there are probably many people that wish to be forced, to be pushed to do this type of inner work, but it is not always that easy. Sometimes one needs to truly come into one's own inner drive, will to live, force of life, and that comes with the time, that comes with practice. But one needs to have that longing to find out, the longing to be curious and wondrous. and as a feeling of awe and wonder and curiosity and love and gratitude brings a certain drive to find out, despite many of the hindrances and strives and struggles that comes. We overcome them despite all of this. And that is where we will find wisdom and love. May Father, Holy Spirit, Christ, Michael, ancient masters of all, ancestors from every incarnation, Godhead, Seraphim, Cherubim, Thrones, Kyriadetes, Dynamis, Exousiae, Archangels, Archai, Archangels, Angels, bless, protect, guide and love you. May you be provided for and kept safe and have all that you need to live, survive and thrive and be creative and inspirational to others. Love you. See you later. Thank you. Goodbye.